Welcome into my channel. I'm Amy. Thank you so much for watching. If this is your first time finding my channel, welcome in. I love to talk about all things makeup and beauty related and trying to help you make smart buying decisions for your beauty budget. Today I'm doing a dynamic duo collab with Andy over at Makeup in the Mundane, so please make sure that you go check out Andy's channel. Today we are collabing with the ColourPop The Child palette and Yucca from Natasha Denona. I chose shades for Andy from these two palettes, and Andy chose shades for me from these two palettes. And if you want to see how I created this look, this halo eye, vampy wing look, then stay tuned. Please make sure that you go check out Andy's video so you can see how amazing the look turned out. Andy is so great with color and not afraid at all to just be bold with color, and I knew this collab was going to be so much fun. So please make sure that you go show Andy some love. And if you're here from Andy's channel, hi. I am a boring makeup lover, but you know, maybe you'll find a little bit of inspiration today. Stay tuned to see how I got to this look. So I got this video idea whenever I had just finished my 1 week 1 palette challenge for myself for January, and I really liked the bingo randomization factor that I had implemented during that week, and I thought to myself, I want to continue to try to explore my eyeshadow palette collection and use it in unexpected ways. How can I do that? Maybe I can pair up 2 eyeshadow palettes to create a look, and you know, do the bingo randomization factor that way too. Well, then I thought to myself, I know myself, and I know that I'm going to create the most safe looks that I can, because while I am trying to branch out into different like color stories and, you know, color that is natural for me and color that I know that I will wear, I'm not very exploratory in how I get it done. Color combos that I might not normally put together. So I thought to myself, what about creating this dynamic duos collaboration with other people who are either on Instagram or on YouTube? And that way we have a duo of eyeshadow palettes, and we have a duo of people that are kind of creating looks for each other. And so I threw it out there on my Instagram, and by the way, I'd love for you to go follow me over there. I post my daily looks and just other random things over there, so I'll have that information for you. But so I had 6 people that were like, hey, I would love to join you. That's a fun idea. And so the first collab, the first dynamic duo collab, is going to be with Andy from Makeup in the Mundane. And I knew as soon as Andy said, I want to join, this is going to be a lot of fun, I knew that I was in for a very colorful and what will be a very challenging and stretching look for me. So I was super excited when I got the shades that Andy picked, and we are going to collab today using the ColourPop Mandalorian The Child palette, which, if you're familiar with this one, is a green heavy palette, and Andy loves green. And we also chose the Yucca palette because we both had those palettes in common, and we wanted to be able to collab with common palettes. Today we're going to create a look using the shades that Andy picked out for me. I want to go ahead and swatch those shades for you so that you can kind of see the color story that Andy picked. From ColourPop, we have Precious Cargo, which is the very first shade in the palette, and it is kind of a, it looks kind of white, but it really has a lot of green glitter reflect in it. Not a whole lot of like base color to it, but it's going to add a nice, lovely green sparkle to my look. The second shade that Andie picked from this palette was Float Your Crib, which is this matte, deep, mossy green color. And so I'm going to swatch that one for you. There it is, very pigmented. It'll really create and add a lot of depth to the look. So these are the two shades that were chosen from the Child palette. Now from Yucca, there are some really good ones picked. So first we have Plantasia. Andie gave me a really lovely pinky gold. And I don't know if this is one of the wet effect shades, but it's very, very soft. Very, very soft. So much so that when my daughter and I were playing with it last night, and we were I created the look I'm gonna do today, and then she did something for me. Like you could tell that we had like moved the shadow around in the pan quite a bit. So I like moved it even in some more, so it wasn't like hitting the pan. So far, you know, pretty safe. Then Andie gave me Camu Camu, which is one of the funnest shades in this palette. It's like a lime chartreuse yellow green color, very neon color, which you could really kind of do like, you could go so many different directions. I know that one of the people that I love to watch is Lauren May Beauty, and she likes to put this shade in her inner corner a lot. But I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to do something a little different. And the last shade that Andie picked for me was Tipu, which is this sort of like olive murky green color. And Camu Camu and this Tipu are both mattes. So all in all, my color story chosen by Andie were 3 mattes and 2 shimmers. And Andie, I'm filming this on Saturday. Andie created the look a couple days ago. And when I got the picture of the look that Andie created, it was a halo eye. And halo eyes are kind of challenging for everybody, including Andie and including myself. So I thought, you know what? Andie's gonna do a halo eye with the look and the shadows that I gave. Then how about I do a halo eye with the shadows that Andie sent me? So that's what we're gonna do today. And I played around with it last night, and overall I think I was really happy with the look. I think that it was good for me to practice, because what I came up with at first was a little safe, and I wanted to kind of like stretch it a little bit. So what I'm going to do first is start with Camu Camu, which is this lime green kind of yellow color. And did I put, yes, I put an eyeshadow primer, and I'm gonna put that in my crease. Actually, this is not the order that I did this in last night. That's okay. It'll be okay. What I did last night actually first was put Tipu Tipu on the on my inner and my outer corner. So I'm gonna pause Camu Camu, and we're gonna go to this one. And my idea with this one being the outer shade to sandwich in the halo look was to have it not be quite so dark. I didn't want it to be like crazy, crazy dark. I wanted to have the option to be able to use Float Your Crib from this one to either deepen it up a little bit or use Float Your Crib as a liner. So that was my thinking originally last night when I did it, and I liked both options. So we're just gonna kind of see like what I'm feeling today, and that's what we're gonna go with. So here is how we're gonna do this. We're gonna sandwich in the olive murky green color and then kind of connect them just a little bit. And then I blended it out with the Camo, which is the lime green color. I slid you in just a little bit, and as you can see, I have this little spot right here that I have to like mess with. I have to always like force shadow into that area. I'm not quite sure. It's a eyelid problem on my end. So that's what it looks like right now. Very green, very colorful. And next, in knowing that the shimmers in this Yucca palette are really very flaky, and a lot of the glitters tend to like fall all over my face, I wanted to give a little bit of insurance to my look, and so I'm going to put some NYX glitter primer in the middle of my eye look. I don't do like a cut crease type halo eye. I'm not that serious about about things. Definitely not that serious. Nothing is worth all that time. And then what I did last night was I went in with Plantasia from Yucca, which has a little bit more like actual color to it compared to the Precious Cargo shade. I feel like this one has an actual pigmented base to it, and the Precious Cargo, what I'm going to do is, last night I did that as an inner corner, but I may do something a little different. So this, look at that. Oh my gosh. This is Plantasia from Yucca, and it is so multi-dimensional. It has, I feel like it has green, gold, I don't know, I feel like maybe even a little bit of blue, but I could be wrong. It is so reflective and so sparkly, so beautiful. And I think it's just really nice in this look, but I have to use a glitter primer or it's going everywhere. Next, what I'm going to do is just kind of put a little bit more of Tipu back on the edges of it and kind of just blending it in just a little bit so I don't have too much of the sparkle, but it really is just so pretty. And even though I have a little bit of the glitter primer on, it is still like flaking down. Well, it got on my eyelashes, and I have that problem a lot for some reason with this palette, is that it gets on my eyelashes. So that's where the fallout is coming from, because it got on my eyelashes right there on my lash line. Okay, next I think what I'm going to do for now is use from the Child, I'm going to use Float Your Crib as a liner for now, and then we'll come back and reconvene. So I did this just to kind of add a little bit of dimension to my lash line, because I don't do false lashes or anything like that, and I do have very nice long lashes, but this side they are very straight. So if I can kind of help the look out and the fullness of it out by adding a little bit of liner, then I will certainly do that. Okay, it looks like a hot mess, but we are going to clean it up a little bit with some concealer. I'm gonna like do all the rest of my face, and then I'm gonna come back. So when I see you again, everything's gonna be all done, and we're gonna decide if we want to kind of deepen up a little bit of this outer part with a little bit more of Precious Cargo, and we're gonna figure out, am I gonna tap this, no, this is Precious Cargo. Am I gonna deepen it up with Float Your Crib? And for Precious Cargo, am I just going to put it on the inner part, or am I going to tap it on top of this Plantasia? So let's come back and we'll make some decisions. back with most of my look done, and I'll just really quickly tell you what I put on my face. I used my CoverGirl Outlast Extreme Wear foundation. I used the shade 820, and this is a perfect shade match for me. The only concealer that I have right now is my Hourglass Vanish concealer, and I used the shade Sepia with that. For bronzer, I went to the Dollar Tree and used my LA Colors bronzer, and this is Bronzed Beauty, $1.25. Such a great bronzer. For blush, I pulled out my Persona Multi-Stick in the shade Guava, and I think that with the vibes of the Yucca palette, this sort of orangey terracotta color goes really, really nicely. For brows, I just have a combo of, again, something from the Dollar Tree. It's the LA Colors Skinny Brow Pencil and my Rare Beauty Brow Gel. Highlighter, I did my Laura Geller French Vanilla, and for lips, I have a combo of this Wet n Wild lip liner, and this came in like a holiday thing a couple years ago. It's the shade Bear to Comment, and then the first time I'm using this full-size lipstick I got around Christmas time from Rare Beauty, and it's the matte lipstick in the shade Bold. And again, I think with the vibes of this Yucca palette and the green, I think that that lip is really nice. So while I was getting the rest of all of this on my face, I kind of was inspired a little bit, so I think I'm going to change my plan. And I'm going to do something I hope that I don't regret. And I want to take this shade, I keep forgetting what it's called, Float Your Crib, and of course my 40-year-old eyeballs, I'm like, what does that say? Float Your Crib, the dark shade. And what I want to do is continue to use it as a liner, but kind of like down here and bringing it up to kind of follow the shape of what I created with, you know, the other matte shadows. So that is what I'm thinking. Hopefully it turns out okay and I don't totally screw everything up. Now, because I am just not good at winged liner, I'm not really like trying to call this like a winged liner, because that's just not something I am good at. I have no idea how to do that. Okay, I think that that's good, but I think that I made it go up too high, so maybe we'll do that. Oh, all right. And I have a little bit of like my under eyes, you know, I just have to kind of accept the fact that my under eyes are 43 years old. They are. And there's lines, and there's bags, and there's all kinds of stuff under there. It's all happening. I want to try to kind of maybe put this in my waterline. I don't have like a, I guess I do have like a shadow stick I could have used, but I kind of want to stay in the theme of using just the shadows that Andy picked for me. The last thing that I need to do, I think that I like that. I think that turned out nicely. It's dark and vampy. I don't know if they're the same on both sides. I might need to like make sure that this side is high enough, but you know, we'll there. Okay. Now the last shade that I need to use is Precious The last shade that I need to use is Precious Cargo, and that's this green color, and I have so much all over my fingers. I'm going to just use the opposite hand, and I think I am, because I do have so much darkness going on, you know, under the lash line and everything with that. I think I am just going to put that as an inner corner highlight, which I'm really terrible at doing. I never remember to do that. I just don't. I'm gonna see if I can find another brush to kind of help me like pinpoint that in a little bit more targeted area. This one might work. That kind of like that shape right there. It might help me if I can pack it on there good enough. And get that. And then maybe just to be super extra, maybe right there too. All right, so I used all 5 shades. Let me put on my mascara and then the look will be all the way done. So here is the final look. I used the Tarte Tartelette Tubing Mascara because my eyelashes don't like to hold on to mascara, and it always flakes and smudges when I use a normal mascara. So tubing mascara is it for me. And again, I have very long lashes, which is such a blessing, and they actually used to be really a lot longer. But I think age and having a child shrunk them. But this side always just kind of falls. So I've been trying to do a better job about like kind of doing that number right there and fluffing them back up a little bit a couple of times just to see. So this is my final look. I think that this exercise was exactly what I wanted it to be. This collab did exactly what I wanted. I don't normally do things this vampy and bold, but I do like it, and I think it's fun on occasion to be able to really step out of your comfort zone, try new things, and put your makeup in somebody else's hands because look what Andie did, and this is amazing. So if you would love to collab with me and do this dynamic duo thing, I would love for you to let me know in the comments, and I would love to be able to hang out with you and get some fun makeup looks going. And please be sure to check out Andie over at Makeup in the Mundane to see what shades I chose and the look that Andie was able to create. And I will see you in another video. Bye!